one's ready to go, we're ready to turn it into a table on our actual server. What we'll do is go to Database and Forward Engineer. Go ahead and accept the defaults. You may want to come back to this screen. If at some point you decide to you want to get rid of your database and recreate it, this will be important to drop the schema, or in other words, to delete the schema before recreating it. Because you'll notice in the script, we'll hit next one more time, and you'll notice that the script will pop up and it says create schema if not exists, create table if not exists. If you are trying to delete your schema or replace what you have on your server, it does exist, so none of this will run. And so what you'll want to do is on that previous page, check drop schema before the statement, just so you can see that. If I click generate drop schema or drop objects before each create, you'll see here that there's an additional drop schema if exists line, and also before each table, a drop table if it exists. So that way you know you're fully replacing each of those things in your script. So if we hit next, it will go ahead and create that. And again, that means we should come back to our home page, so home screen here. And this is where, with this dolphin and the database symbol, is where we're actually going to be able to see what's in our database or on our server. So if you don't see it, you may want to hit the refresh button. If it was already open, maybe you'll want to hit refresh, and then you should see it by its schema name. You can open it, and you should see your tables there. If you hover over them, you will be able to click on, there's a couple of features here that are helpful. If you use the grid with the lightning bolt, that will automatically run the select all query for that table. If you want to just seed some data in here, the ID is auto-generated, so we can go ahead and just double click and provide some values here. And again, remember we set create out and updated out to be automatic. So if we go ahead and hit apply, it will show us the SQL that it's actually going to execute. Because remember, nothing happens in SQL until we actually run SQL code. So we're going to run this insert statement, and when we hit finish, we'll notice that it is given an ID and also created out and updated out were both populated. Another helpful tool is this wrench. Again, just hovering over the two tables is what allows me to see these. So if I hover over dojos and I realize, oh, maybe I forgot a field that I want to add, instead of dropping everything and recreating my whole table and schema, I can just click on this wrench. And you might not see it. If you don't see it, come over to this right side right here and click on these arrows, and you'll be able to see the fields that you have in your table, and you can double click and add them, add new ones if you need, or delete ones that you don't need. So say we realized that we really didn't need a separate name, we just wanted locations, we can right click, delete selected, and remember, nothing happens until we actually run SQL code. Hit apply. And this can be helpful as you start to feel more comfortable with it. Start reading the SQL a little bit more and realize that these are commands that you could write and run yourself. But Workbench just generates them for us. So we can apply that. And once it's finished, when we close this, if you refresh, you'll be able to see that it's gone. So the column was deleted. It's kind of funky looking though right now. So if we just re-execute the script instead of hitting refresh, we should see everything get updated properly. So this is good for when you are just refreshing the actual table, but if you change the table structure itself, go ahead and re-execute the original query. And that should be basically another introduction for you to remember how to use Workbench. You can run queries here if you wanted to write your own. Dojos, where there is this feature where if you use this lightning bolt, it executes everything, where if you use this, it will only execute either the line that you're on or the lines that are highlighted. If I highlight both, then it will execute both lines and just show you the last result. And down here, remember, you can check here if something isn't working right or isn't happening. You can read your errors down at the bottom here. And that's it.